Alright, welcome back to 2A Acres. If you're following my channel, last video I did, we talked about the Vegas victory here and why I went to the dark side. And so, just to recap, needed a tire. After several years of pondering back and forth about the dark side, at first I thought it was just a stupid idea. Why would anybody put a car tire on a motorcycle? But then I started realizing, I do a lot of motorcycle tires here. I put a lot of miles on bikes, and I mean, there's 3 bikes in here. That's mine, 4 or 5, Redhead. We typically have 6 or 7 bikes here at any given time, and guess who does the tires? So, and the quality of the tires, especially like on the lighter bikes, I used to be religiously loyal to Dunlop 404s. Well, guess what? They've gone to shit. The quality's gone to shit. I don't know if they're manufacturing it overseas now or what, or if they're using cheaper rubber compound. But on the same bike, like that Yamaha over there that's owned by my buddy Mikey, I sold it to him. I ran that bike myself for several years. I put, I don't know, 17, 18, 19,000 miles on it. And done the tire once. I mean, I was getting 9,000, 10,000 miles out of a set of, well, at least a rear tire on that bike. We started putting down, Mike got it, he needed tires. We put a set of Dunlop 404s. I think he got 4,000 miles out of it. Benny with his Shadow over here. I don't know if we're just picking on metric cruisers. Same thing, 4,000 or 5,000 miles, wipe the tire out. Victory. I put a Bridgestone tire on about a year ago. I haven't ridden this bike a whole lot. I put 4,500, 5,000 miles, and the tire was wiped out. It was funny. It took me a year to put 4,500 or 5,000. I did 700 this week alone, and the week's not over. Just goes to show I made the right decision. So, with motorcycle tires costing as much as they do and not lasting, it makes sense to try something a little bit different. This is a 50,000 mile tire. I expect, or I'm hoping, that on a motorcycle I might get 18 or 20,000 miles out of it. But as far as handling it, like I said, we took it out on Sunday. Went for a Mother's Day ride, Redhead, myself, and Benny. We brought Benny over to say Happy Mother's Day to his mom. Very sweet and touching moment. And this is the first time I rode it with the Darkside tire. I was being a little bit conservative, not knowing what to expect. And I wasn't tossing it too hard into the corners, but I noticed that it stops better. You don't lose traction when you accelerate hard. You get a big contact patch here. Then on Monday, I used it, travel for business. I had to go into Vermont, and a lot of highway and a lot of back roads. And on the highway, it literally, it cruises nice. I mean, I was 85 miles an hour, and it goes down the road straight as an arrow. It's can't get any kind of a high-speed wobble. And well, high-speed wobble. In my research, I find that a lot of guys, when they first go to the dark side, they experience a high-speed wobble, north of 90 miles an hour. I've heard people say, well, it wobbles at 120. Well, don't go 120, but the solution, everybody says, is you have to adjust. You have to find a sweet spot in the tire pressure. Well, I happened to find a guy that was running this exact same tire and size on a Victory Vegas, and he had told me that his sweet spot was 41 psi. So that's what I'm starting with. I put 41 psi. It's balanced with glass beads, you know, the balance beads. And I'll be damned. I just for shits and giggles to test it out, I brought it up just south of 100 miles an hour. I think it was, I have to check the app, it was like 98.5 miles per hour. No high-speed wobble. And I don't really ever need to go that fast. I mean, I could, but I prefer to keep my license and maybe live a little bit longer. Now, of the 700 miles I put on this tire so far, I would say it's been 50-50. 50% highway and then 50%, you know, New Hampshire back roads, twisties, the fun shit. And Monday into Tuesday, I started getting a little bit bigger balls about it because it was feeling good and tossing it down pretty good. I mean, it's a fun bike to ride, and I was scraping pegs, so you don't tell me you can't get down low with this tire. It does take a little bit more input from the operator, a little bit more counter steer. If you look, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, you can see my chicken strip sucks right about there, but the tire flexes. You actually have a contact patch. It comes to almost the middle of the tire when you're hard into a corner. So you got, you know, almost 3 inches of contact patch in comparison to motorcycle tire that when you're on the sidewall, you've got half an inch, 3/4 of an inch at best. And it really is more stable. The one thing that is a little different, but I liked, is when you're coming out of the corner, the bike literally stands itself right up, almost like it's on a spring. And then you're ready to toss it into the next corner. I liked it. I think it's a winner. I know a lot of people think I'm an asshole for saying this, and why would you suggest this? And since I did this, I've watched more videos, and I've watched the negative people, and you know, I've had, it seems everybody that talks shit about doing Darkside, they're in the business of selling motorcycle tires. So yeah, that's a threat to their business. I don't need a Dunlap rep to tell me that I have to buy Dunlap tires and this is no good, especially when he doesn't even ride a bike. Can't say I've been in a tire business, but been in the trucking industry my entire life, and I've done a lot of motorcycle tires. I've done literally thousands and thousands of truck tires myself. I mount my own motorcycle tires. I understand bead profiles and whatnot, and there's absolutely nothing insecure. This is not going to roll off the bead. It's not going to slip. This is as secure as it comes. I've seen people, some of the same people that you know, work within the motorcycle tire industry that's talking down about it, say, well, insurance companies won't insure you if you have a car tire. Well, that's bullshit. I've checked out, I've looked at policy, I've called my own insurance company, and the answer is, as long as the tire does not say NHS, which means not for highway service, as long as it's a DOT tire, they absolutely, and federal law requires them to not deny a claim or void your insurance because you're running a Darkside tire. It's a lot of scare tactics, and it almost seems to me as though everybody that is trying to talk you out of a Darkside tire has never ridden Darkside. I didn't. At first, I thought it was a stupid idea. It took a while for me. I'd like to be a little flexible and open-minded. It took me a little while to come around to it, and like I said, I want to do the Ultra back here, but I hadn't ridden that bike a whole lot. I bought a tire for it a year ago, and the tire that's on it, which is actually an American Elite, which made by Dunlop, it's probably the only decent Dunlop tire nowadays. It just doesn't seem to be wearing out. Maybe it's because I haven't done any iron butts with it, and I haven't gone too much in the last year. I haven't gone any real long trips, more than a few 100 miles each day. But we're going to wear that out this year, and I'm going to put that Darkside tire on it. But either way, I told you I'd give you my first impression. I think 700 miles in, tires worn in. I think it's this is a pretty good sampling. If I have issues with it, I'll get back to you. But if you're interested in Darkside, I'm not going to recommend it. You make your own choice. You do you. If you think it's a good idea for you, you try it. The only thing I will say is, if you're a brand new rider and you're still learning how to handle your bike, this may not be for you. It's going to react a little bit differently, and you need to be able to have the instincts to adjust to it. But yeah, I'm not recommending it because I don't want to be responsible if somebody gets fucking killed. But I think it's working out fine for me, and your story may be different, but I'm just telling you what works for me. You know, I think I'm supposed to say like, share, subscribe, whatever. But either way, goodbye.